and it could be your last chance to see one occur for 2 decades, as the next time one will be visible over the continental U.S.
He's May 84. Yarrow told police in the hospital that he had pressed the doorbell and waited.
They mix with oxygen and nitrogen and become briefly
Welcome back to Stick to Sports. Joining me now is Alex Brooks, one of our producers. Alex, what do you have for us tonight?
Thanks, Ben. Week 6 of the NFL season saw a lot of crazy storylines, including problems with the NFL turf. There have been multiple players that have struggled to stay healthy for a full season, and the turf conditions have came up into conversation regarding them. With guys like Garrett Wilson and Christian McCaffrey going down in Week 6, Ben, does the NFL have a problem they need to address with playing on turf?
I mean, this is a conversation they should be having year after year. I think it's even come to more of a head this season because of the amount of injuries within the first 6 weeks that have happened. Non-contact leg injuries. We saw a lot of hamstring. We saw Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill with the hamstring. We saw Trayvon Diggs in practice on turf. We've seen a ton of ACL injuries and hamstring injuries arise early in this season, and that has to be attributed to the turf. And I think stadiums are planning on changing to natural grass for the FIFA World Cup just a few years away. So why they aren't also considering it for their own teams is really confusing to me.
Yeah, I completely agree. And Ben, I want to go back to the Super Bowl when they had that artificial turf that was supposed to help the players, and that did anything but. Both the Eagles and Chiefs were slipping, and it wasn't really helping out. And a lot of players have wanted to have grass, and I think the NFL really needs to make a change. Staying on the gridiron, we saw the New York Jets defeat the Philadelphia Eagles 20-14 in a big defensive battle. With multiple players out on the secondary on both teams, the Jets defense forced 3 interceptions to clinch their first franchise win against the Eagles. Ben, with the Jets making Pat Mahomes and now Jalen Hurts look bad, are the Jets for real this season?
I mean, I was talking about it earlier with Brian. I really do think that the Jets are on the upswing. They're on the upswing right now. And we see Robert Saleh, the head coach of the Jets, he has a ton of confidence in this team, in this defense. And now while he's saying they played gauntlet quarterbacks and that they haven't gotten all wins, but we've embarrassed all of them, it's not 100% true. I like the confidence that he has, especially in his team, in this young team that is on the upswing, that needs that confidence boost. I think that's good of him to say, but if we're looking at it from a logic standpoint, from a past game standpoint, that's not entirely true, because we've seen them lose to the likes of Mac Jones, who now cannot get anything going on offense against other teams as well. So we're not 100% sure what's going on there in New England, but right now the Jets, they're looking really good, and I think that they could squeak into the playoffs.
Yeah, my thing is, Ben, quickly, the Jets' defense is for real. The offense, really not yet. We got to see what Zach Wilson can do against more competition. Exciting developments are happening as the 2028 Olympics will welcome 6 new sports to the worldwide competition. Sports such as baseball and softball will make their return, but flag football will make its debut in Los Angeles. Ben, will these additions create more hype for this big event?
You know, I think it will. I mean, we see the lineup of sports: baseball, softball, cricket, lacrosse, flag football, squash. So cricket being added, that's, of course, going to add a lot of hype, because cricket is a huge sport around the world. It's not really tapped into here in the States, but around the world, cricket is huge. So that's already going to create a lot of hype just on a world level. But for baseball and flag football specifically, I think it would only create hype if MLB or NFL players or former NFL players were able to go in and play in these games. Unfortunately, the Olympics happen during the MLB season, and active NFL players probably won't want to play to risk a non-contact injury. So while it could create hype, and it probably is right now, it's still 5 years away. So there's not 100% certainty whether or not these will create the exact hype that they're hoping for.
Yeah, and I feel like if you have those players that are coming in, like old players coming, I think that'll make a lot of excitement. Also, the person who watches that specific sport is going to love these new sports coming in.
We're going to take a quick break here on Stick to Sports. Thanks once again to Alex for the fast break. And when we come back, Brian, Alex, and I will head into extra innings. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Stick to Sports on WTOP 10.
And it could be your last chance to see one occur for 2 decades, as the next time one will be visible over the continental U.S.
He's May 84. Yarrow told police in the hospital that he had pressed the doorbell and waited.
Happens. They mix with oxygen and nitrogen. They become briefly
What's going on?
Yeah, dude, we go on at like 11:30. It's like,
No.
what do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Yeah, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?
Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa. Did you know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow.
Wow.
Get a close up of that one.
Matthew. Broadcast
Yeah, look
news.
at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Welcome back to Stick to Sports. Now let's get ready for everyone's favorite tradition at WTOP 10, extra innings. All right, we'll start off with the Ohio State Buckeyes versus Penn State. I'll have you go first, Brian.
Give me the Buckeyes. -4.5. Penn State's good. They're having a really good season, but Ohio State is, I think, just better. -4.5, that's less than a touchdown, so I think Ohio State easily covers.
No, I think Ohio State is really good, but I don't know how much I trust McCord at QB to face a really, really good team in Penn State. I think that the Nittany Lions will actually put up a really good fight, and I think they will actually win this one in a very close battle.
All right. Well, I am going to take the Ohio State Buckeyes just because they are favored, and I believe that they will win against Penn State. I'm picking with you, Brian. All right, so let's go over to the Alabama Crimson Tide versus the Tennessee Volunteers. I'll have you go, Ben.
You want me to start?
Yeah, you
All right.
start this time.
All right, I'll start. I'm going to go with Alabama. Now, I have not loved what I've seen from the Crimson Tide so far this season, but in this matchup, I still feel like Alabama has the edge just based off of Nick Saban's coaching just expertise. I feel like he'll always just outcoach the other coach. So I'm going to take Alabama in this one.
Give me Tennessee. Alabama's good, but I don't trust Jalen Milroe. He seems to falter in those big games. Tennessee's offense is just so good. And I don't know if they'll win, but 8.5 I think is just too big for me.
I was buying into the Tennessee hype last year, and it didn't really go as planned. So I'm going to pick Alabama. I'm picking Alabama for this matchup.
Oh,
all right, let's move over to some NFL. An exciting matchup for many fans. The Baltimore Ravens versus the Detroit Lions. Ravens are favored, and I'll start with you, Brian.
I know the Ravens are home, but give me the Lions at Ravens -3. I don't even think the Ravens are going to win this game. Never mind get a field goal win. The Lions are playing so well this year. I think Jared Goff is going to rip that defense apart.
I'm going to have to agree there. I mean, the Lions, I was saying it before when we were talking about how they played this past week. I really, really like the Lions, and I think they're going to take this one as well.
Yeah, I feel like the Lions are very young right now, and everybody is really rooting for them. And I feel like this is going to be a good matchup, but I feel like the Lions will be able to take it. So we're all taking the Lions on this one. Let's go over to Sunday Night Football for next week. The Miami Dolphins, the red-hot Miami Dolphins, will face off against the Philadelphia Eagles in Philadelphia. Ben, I'll have you start off.
I know who you're picking in this one, Alex, so I don't think we need to go to you on this one. But I'm going to take the Dolphins. I think their offense is so hot, and I think that even though the Eagles' defense is solid, I don't think they have enough weapons to stop the likes of Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, Ben, I'm riding with you on this one. I don't think the Eagles are winning this one at all. Dolphins' offense seems practically unstoppable at this point. I don't think the Eagles' defense is going to play that well.
Disgusting. This is a bounce-back game for Philadelphia. They are going to win. Miami's not coming into Philadelphia and beating us. This is a bounce-back game. All right, that's off my chest. Eagles are going to win this game. But we'll go over to our last matchup. It's going to be the Buffalo Sabres versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. I'll have you start off, Brian.
Give me the Sabres. I think they're playing at home. Lightning haven't had the hardest start. I think this is the Sabres' first win of the season. Easy bounce-back game for them.
No, I'm going to go opposite you there, Brian. I'm going to go with the Lightning. The Lightning still have that core. They're aging, but they're still really good.
And I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Lightning on this one. So
we'll see. I mean, we're tied for last right now, so we'll have to see. Brian's
I took a one-game lead on you guys, so.
We'll have to see next week.
That's all the time we have on this episode of Stick to Sports. Be sure to tune in next Monday at 10:30 right here on WTOP 10.
Good morning, everyone. It's Wednesday, April 3rd. Thank you for joining us. I'm Scott Brubaker.
And I'm Mackenzie Shields. Rise and Shine Oswego starts right now.
This morning, high winds have hit Oswego once again. Hear what's causing it and how to prepare.
And with the solar eclipse just days away, learn about another way that SUNY Oswego's campus is enjoying it.
And it's Wellness Month. Found out what the first week's theme is and what events are going on for it.
You're watching Rise and Shine Oswego.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning. Less than a week away till the eclipse. Are you excited for that?
I can't wait.
And that's exactly what our top story is, so let's get right into it. So there will be a watch party for the total solar eclipse this Monday just outside the Murano Campus Center. The event will include music DJ'd by WNYO, make and takes related to the eclipse, lawn games, and free t-shirts. The event starts at 2 p.m. on Monday and will take place on the North Lawn right outside of the campus arena.
And Program Coordinator for Student Organization Support and Activities says that the Division of Student Affairs wants to provide an opportunity for people to view the eclipse around a bunch of people and not solely for academic purposes. She says they are hoping for a big turnout of students to watch this rare event.
So yeah, we're just really hoping that a lot of students are going to come out and enjoy the event together and with some of us, and hopefully it is this marvel of an experience that we're all anticipating it's going to be. And good weather. Cross your fingers for good weather.
And you can catch all the fun from the watch party when you tune into Oswego Now's broadcast of the solar eclipse. The live stream broadcast will take place on April 8th starting at 2:30 Eastern Standard Time on Oswego Now's YouTube page. So hopefully it's good weather for the eclipse, because crazy weather this morning.
Oh, it was
Wind,
nasty.
rain. We carpooled over here because we didn't want to walk through it.
And with that, let's take a first look at the weather with Storm Team 10 meteorologist David Rienzo. David?
Thanks, Kenzie. Yeah, right now we are in the wind advisory, I should say. That's going to bring strong winds and gusts as high as 55 miles per hour. So be extra cautious when you're walking to class today. That's going to continue all throughout today, as well as some winter weather inbound thanks to a low pressure system, which is bringing these strong winds and cold temperatures for the rest of this week. But we are in for some more spring-like temperatures into next week, and that's going to be good news for the eclipse on Monday. I'll have all that and more in my full forecast, but first, back to you guys at the desk.
Right, thank you, David. This week at SUNY Oswego is Asian Student Association Week. To celebrate, the ASA is hosting events each day. The events continue today with a Thai iced tea drink sale in the Murano Campus Center, a badminton bonanza tomorrow in the Sweatman Gym, and the week will culminate with a Taste of Asia dinner Friday night in the Sheldon Ballroom. All of these events are free for students to attend, and the ASA is encouraging everyone to come out and bring a friend.
Fashion at Oswego will be hosting a fashion show and creators ball this Friday. The event is called the Spring Collective and will be hosted in collaboration with the Digital Music Association and WNYO. The show will also feature special guest King Malik. Tickets are on sale now for $5 or are available for $8 on the day of the show.
Last night, students gathered in Oneida Hall for an event to celebrate their first week of Wellness Month. The event included music from the early 2000s, a prize giveaway, and activities including coloring and dancing. In addition, the wellness manager gave 3 challenges for students to improve on their mental wellness. And if you missed it, don't worry because we have them right here for you. First, text "I appreciate you" to someone you care about. Second, eat lunch or dinner with your friends. And third, journal at least 3 times a week. And moving on to some state news, Albany, New York was busier than usual for this time of year.
Yeah, women's basketball was in town for March Madness's Sweet 16 and Elite 8 games. As you may know, Caitlin Clark was the star of the games and is now going to the Final Four. Brian Todd reports.
They're on a roll like never before. Superstar Caitlin Clark and her Iowa Hawkeyes team just advancing to the Final Four and shining a brighter spotlight on the game of women's basketball overall. Clark, who's broken most of college basketball's scoring and three-point shooting records, scored 41 points last night as Iowa defeated rival LSU in the Elite 8 round of the NCAA tournament.
We don't want this to end, and we want to keep coming back and working hard with each other and fighting for one more week.
Fans of women's basketball don't want this to end either.
Women's college basketball has never been this popular. It is a national sensation. Every corner bar was watching Iowa versus LSU. Every college dorm room was watching Iowa versus LSU.
It's all placed enormous pressure on the 22-year-old senior from Des Moines, pressure that her coach says Clark doesn't shrink from.
When the stage is the brightest, when the spotlight is the brightest, she's at her very best. She loves this. You know, some people wither in the moment. She just gets stronger in the moment. When it's her time, I mean, she's going to just shine.
According to Axios, the cheapest ticket to the Women's College Basketball Championship game this year is 61% more expensive than the cheapest ticket to the Men's Championship game. Analysts say this spike in popularity is almost entirely due to Clark and her on-court rivalry with LSU star Angel Reese. One of the most debated moments of last year's championship game was when Reese made the "you can't see me" gesture to Clark as LSU was closing out its victory over Iowa for the title. In an emotional news conference last night, Reese spoke about what she's gone through since then.
I've been through so much. I've seen so much. I've been attacked so many times. Death threats. I've been sexualized. I've been threatened. I've been so many things, and I've stood strong.
Let's be honest, there's a racial element as well. And so she's had to shoulder all of this ever since they won the national championship. Anytime you summon her name, it is just, anytime I even tweet something about her, the level of reaction, people calling her ghetto, a thug.
All of this comes on the heels of the most talked about event at the NBA All-Star Game in February, when Golden State Warrior star Steph Curry barely beat Sabrina Ionescu of the WNBA's New York Liberty in a three-point shooting contest.
Expect more of that in the future. If it's Steph versus Caitlin Clark, they might need to hold it in a football stadium.
And the University of South Carolina will face North Carolina State on their side of the Final Four matchup.
6 prisoners in Sullivan County are suing New York State for denying them the right to view the eclipse. The lawsuit is in response to a decision that all prisons would be on lockdown from 2 to 5 p.m. The decision was made by the state's Department of Corrections and Community Supervision. The 6 prisoners say that denying them the right to view the eclipse violates their constitutional right to practice their religion.
And running the New York City Marathon may have gotten a little more expensive. The New York City Transportation Authority now wants runners to pay a toll when crossing the Verrazano Narrows Bridge during the race. The MTA says the roughly $750,000 from the New York City Marathon would make up for the money lost from closing the bridge. No agreement has been made between the MTA and the marathon, and more than 50,000 runners are expected to attend this year.
Governor Hochul announced that a $19 million infrastructure project is set to begin on the New York State Thruway, I-90, in Albany and Schenectady counties. The project will include both full and partial pavement repairs and will impact the 40,000 people who use the Thruway each day. The project is set to be complete by spring of 2025, but until then, there will be lane changes and construction work which drivers are asked to watch out for.
Coming up, hear from a National Ballooning Project student ahead of Monday's eclipse.
And David's full forecast later on.
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No,
right
but you've
here.
got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
Roll it.
Jill
Should we
told me it was
tell him?
Kitty from Glee. Yeah, what is it?
It's Al Roker.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine Oswego.
We have a special guest in the studio today.
We have Oswego student Aurora Fitzgerald here with us.
Aurora is taking part in NASA's Eclipse Ballooning Project next week. Welcome, Aurora. We're glad you're here.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Of course. So you'll be launching balloons on Eclipse Day. What do these balloons measure?
So these balloons have a sonde attached to it. A sonde is a mechanism that we use that has like a motherboard inside and a very small antenna. They're very fragile. They're connected to the balloon with other parachutes and riggings that we have. And when we lift the balloons into the air after filling them with helium, basically, when they go up into the atmosphere, the sonde is the thing that's going to pick up all of the scientific data. We're going to get the pressure, we're going to get the humidity, the temperature, everything like that. And we're trying to get them as high as we can, probably just above the stratosphere. And with this data, we collect it, we save it, and then we analyze it, usually to see how the eclipse is going to affect the atmosphere before, during, and after.
All right, so tell me about what the typical day will look like for you on the day of the eclipse.
So specifically on the day of the eclipse, it's going to look very exciting. On the day of the eclipse, we're going to have a bunch of craft tables and everything like that. We're going to have bead making, Bailey's beads. It's going to be like bracelets. We're going to have little masks for the kids out of paper plates that they can make. We're going to have some tour guides that'll take you around our station, show you the equipment, show you how everything works and stuff like that. Anyone is welcome. We highly encourage everyone to go to our events. We have everything under the sun for all ages.
Awesome. And how does it feel to be working on a NASA project?
It feels absolutely amazing to be working on a project like this. I myself am a NASA Eclipse ambassador. I am working with amateur astronomers to work with each other. We have kits, we exchange information, we exchange what we're doing, how we're getting involved in both of our communities, no matter how far or near we are. I never thought I'd be doing this, and I'm sure many other students have never thought they'd be doing this either. It's very inclusive as well. Lots of diversity, especially when it comes to majors. I am a broadcasting mass communication major. I am not a STEM major, but I can still participate in something like this. And many other students from both STEM majors and non-STEM majors participate in this as well, and I think it's a really great opportunity for students of all majors, all diversities, and all ages.
So how did you get involved in a project like this?
So when I got involved in this project, I saw a flyer, and I thought to myself, oh, this looks really interesting. And I thought I wouldn't be eligible for this, you know. I worked really hard on my grades, but my major, you know, I was changing my major at the time, so I didn't think I'd be qualified. But surprisingly, I was, and I was so happy and excited. I am absolutely honored to be in a program like this, working with so many amazing people and professors.
Well, Aurora, it sounds like such a good program, and I just want to say thank you so much for joining us. It was lovely to have you, especially this early in the morning.
Yes, of course. I'm a morning person, so all right by me.
And if you're interested in seeing the balloons launched, you can head to the quad behind Sweatman Gym on Eclipse Day to watch.
And still to come, a student entrepreneur is joining us live as well.
And weather is up next.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Shine on that boy. Look at the bling. Look at do we got a diamond tester on? Yeah, that's getting bad. Yep.
10 out of 10 recommend on Yelp.
We scored? Yeah, we scored. We're going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Hey, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine.
I'm gonna need that back.
No.
Kevin!
Welcome back to Rise and Shine Oswego. I'm meteorologist David Rienzo. Now, right outside, you're seeing a little bit of drizzle that is going to continue throughout the rest of the day. Temperatures are 42 degrees, and this wind is just not helping at all. It's really making it feel a lot chillier out. And now this wind is part of the wind advisory that is going into effect at 7 a.m., so it's already in effect. And this is going to last until 7 p.m. Now, this is going to bring very strong winds. We're seeing winds as strong as 55 miles per hour today and into the late afternoon. So expect some very strong winds. You know, if today is your garbage day, you can expect your trash can down the road, maybe in your neighbor's yard too. So I would recommend bringing those out tomorrow morning if you can. Now today, temperatures are going to be in the low to high 30s. It's going to be very chilly today, so make sure you bundle up. And you may want to grab your raincoat because rain is going to continue all day. There's a chance that rain will lighten up in the afternoon, maybe early evening, but then it will deepen as the day continues with some stronger, heavy rain in the evening. Now, another thing to be concerned about is the mixed precipitation that we're going to be seeing tonight and into tomorrow. When driving conditions will be pretty difficult in the morning with some snow and possible icing on the roads, but they're going to get even more difficult Thursday night and into Friday. That's when we're going to see the most dangerous conditions on the road, so be careful driving. I would say avoid it at all costs. Now, eclipse temperatures, you're seeing some very nice weather, some very sunny skies. They return for the next week. Also some warm temperatures. So far we're looking at some nice weather, but this is all likely to change. So stay tuned to WTOP. Now, as I said, we've got some chilly temperatures, but fortunately we are in for some nice spring-like temperatures into next week. We're seeing some high temperatures in 54, 52 on Monday, Tuesday, partly sunny skies. So we just need to get through this week, and we are fortunately in for some nicer weather. That is all for my full forecast. Now back to the desk.
And welcome to a new segment here on Rise and Shine Oswego. Business is Boomin' is a live interview with a student at SUNY Oswego who has their own business.
Please welcome Anthony Vasquez with Oz Apparel.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good.
So start by telling us what inspired you to create this business.
100%. So just, going into the school store and just kind of seeing how dead it is, and, students, also friends of mine coming up to me and talking about it. And then the idea for Oz Apparel was sparked, and, now we're here. So, yeah.
And how often do you come out with new designs?
So we try to come out with new designs every semester or so. So every new semester we try to come out with a new drop. This semester has taken us a little longer just because we've been playing with different samples of hoodies. This is actually one of the ones that we're going with that I'm wearing currently right now. It's a blank, but one of the more comfortable hoodies. This is one of the older ones here that I have with me. That's one of the premium hoodies. So
does that have a design on it?
Yeah, it actually does. It's one of the newest designs here. We have our Study Hard, Party Harder.
So what goes into coming up with the different designs and the different slogans that you have on them?
Basically, everything that goes into Oz Apparel is all student-based. So really just talking to people on campus, a lot of friends, and just communicating within the community is really what goes into it. A lot of the design concepts just literally come from brainstorming, and then we'll go around campus and just ask a bunch of students what they think about it, get their feedback and everything like that, and that helps us decide which designs to push forth and which designs to hold back.
And what's been your favorite part of working on this business?
So I'd say definitely my favorite part is just seeing people wearing it on campus, working with other students, working with other organizations, designing and stuff like that. I think I'm a psychology major. I've never designed anything in my life, but working on Oz Apparel and actually designing clothes has definitely been, I'd say, the funnest part.
And I'm just going to ask real quick because we have maybe 10 seconds left. Where do you see this business going in 5 years?
In 5 years, that's an excellent question. In 5 years, I definitely see us probably taking on the whole SUNY system. So, as a whole.
Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah.
And we wish you luck in all your endeavors.
Thank you.
Of course. And coming up, we have entertainment news for you right after the break.
Hopefully Hazel has some hot tea for us then.
But first, before we get to that, we're going to take a look at the dining hall menu.
In Lakeside, for lunch there is shrimp stir fry and grilled cheese, and for dinner, calamari and mashed potatoes. In Cooper, there's haddock and chicken patties for lunch, and for dinner, there's honey glazed ham and pizza. Pathfinder is serving curry and chicken sausage for lunch, and for dinner, there's chicken tenders.
What's going on?
Yeah, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
No.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Matt, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?
Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa.
Did you know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow. Get a close up with that one.
Broadcast news.
Look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
We'll deep dive into our feelings in our Real Talk segment. Stay tuned because it's about to get real.
When I was in foster care,
I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Welcome back to Major Discussion. Okay. Welcome back. I'm your entertainment host, Hazel Montalvo, responsible for keeping you up with the latest. Munchausen by proxy survivor Gypsy Rose Blanchard separates from husband Ryan Anderson. If you thought this would keep her down for long, you're mistaken. Gypsy was seen rekindling with her ex-fiancé, Ken Urker, who had been engaged to Blanchard in 2018 before they split while she was behind bars. According to TMZ, Urker was by her side at a tattoo parlor on Monday as the pair allegedly got matching ink of huskies on their arms. Gypsy, being a huge Taylor Swift fan, will be ecstatic to know another W for the Swifties had happened. Taylor Swift wins her first Artist of the Year at the 2024 iHeart Music Awards. Swift yet again breaks another record by becoming the first ever singer to reach billionaire status with her music. Swift is now on Forbes Certified Billionaire. Forbes Certified Lover Boy Drake, in the ongoing rap feud, seems to have Drake pitted against the entire rap community. Tensions ignited when Kendrick Lamar took an aim at Drake in his track Like That. This diss track is featured on the latest album collaboration between Future and Metro Boomin titled We Don't Trust You. Drake speaks out saying they used his name for clout. On a more local note, students, faculty, and staff remember to pick up free clip glasses at the office box across Crossroads in MCC. If you have friends or family visiting this Monday, the Eclipse glasses are available for non-students as well for $2. Be sure to pick up your pair for this rare event while stock lasts.
Taylor Swift has joined the Forbes World's Billionaires list, one of 14 celebrities in the magazine's latest tally. Forbes says her achievement is particularly noteworthy. She's the first musician to become a billionaire, $1.1 billion actually, solely from music and performance earnings. George Lucas leads the celeb list with a net worth of $5.5 billion. Fellow director Steven Spielberg is second at $4.8 billion.
I just slapped you. Are you all right? What?
Jake Gyllenhaal is set to do more business with his Roadhouse studio. His production company, 9 Stories, has signed a 3-year first-look film deal with Amazon MGM Studios, which also released Guy Ritchie's The Covenant, starring Gyllenhaal last year.
Who's there? That's Red Butterfly. Sir, you are no gentleman.
And you, miss, are no lady.
Gone with the Wind is back in theaters for its 85th anniversary. The Oscar-winning 4-hour epic starring Vivien Leigh and Clark Gable returns to the big screen for 3 nights only, Sunday, April 7th, Monday, April 8th, and Wednesday, April 10th. Check fathomevents.com for locations and showtimes. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
That's all for entertainment. Now, back to the desk.
Thank you, Hazel. Our final story this morning, you have more than 1 billion reasons to get a lottery ticket for tonight's drawing.
That's right. Tonight's jackpot is an estimated $1.09 billion, making it the 9th largest in U.S. lottery history.
If someone were to win, they can choose to spread the money over years or take a lump sum of $527 million. However, it is good to keep in mind the odds of winning the grand prize are 1 in 292 million. That's according to the lottery.
That's our report for this morning. Be sure to stay tuned tonight for WTOP 10 Nightly News.
That's all for today. Thank you.
It's fine.
It's all good.
With sports and news and what to do, we're here for you. It's your TV, you're watching WTLP. Your TV, thanks for watching WTLP.